Hare Krishna. Welcome you all for our Gurukul sessions. And today is Saturday. We have a Srila Prabhupada book study. So all of you heard about the life of Srila Prabhupada, how Srila Prabhupada used to wake up in the midnights, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then used to spend the hours for writing the books. And because of that great things, great sacrifice what Srila Prabhupada did, that night he used to sleep around 10 o'clock and wake up at 1 o'clock. Just only 2 to 3 hours sleep. And the whole day also working very hard, traveling and preaching and doing so many others programs for the spreading Krishna consciousness. And being an old age, not a young man, old person. So, right. So one devotee was telling, so Srila Prabhupada sacrificed his nights for writing the books for us. So can't we sacrifice our day sleep at least for reading the books, what he has given us? Right. So Prabhupada sacrificed his night sleep. He did not slept. Right. He sacrificed his sleeps for writing the book so that we all can know about Krishna consciousness very, very properly. So can't we sacrifice our day sleep at least? Why to sleep in the daytime? At least we can. Night anyway we sleep, so daytime at least we can save our time for sleeping. We can take a little nap for 10-15 minutes if it is needed, but we can use the time very properly so that every day we can read Srila Prabhupada books. So that's why we have this session once in a week scheduled, but other days also we read from Srila Prabhupada books only. But all of you also personally should have a proper plan of reading, going on reading Srila Prabhupada's books regularly. So let me begin with the short video, then you'll understand how situations. Yeah. So let me know about the audio also, okay? If it is causing echo, if it is giving a disturbance and things, then you can tell me. I can mute or somewhere do. I'll do the share sound also. Okay, please write in the chat or unmute and tell me about sound if it is a problem. And it's in a Hindi, so I hope you can understand. It's just simple only, not much dialogues, but very, very important. So I'll explain.
I can understand but not read it.
Yeah, no problem. You have to just hear it. You'll get, okay. So this is a title, Ab Nahi To Kab.
वाह माँ, what a surprise!
अरे मासी के घर जा रही थी, सोचा तुझे भी मिलती चलूं।
Come.
राम,
नानी,
मेरा बच्चू, कैसे हो?
मैं अच्छा हूँ। नानी, चलो मेरे साथ खेलो।
राम, इधर आओ बेटा।
ओके।
ये लो, ये रखो, बहुत संभाल के रखना, और अगर मम्मी हाँ बोले तो एक चॉकलेट ले लेना।
थैंक यू।
राम, यहाँ इतने सारे किताब रखे हैं, आपने नोट इसी किताब में क्यों रखा?
क्योंकि ये किताब कोई पढ़ते ही नहीं है।
So you could understand? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So what he was telling, why he kept the note in that book?
Yeah, probably because nobody used to read it, even touch it.
Yeah, right. So that's what here you see what he's saying. So that book is kept in the house, but interestingly, nobody reads that. His nani told him that you you can keep a mute. Prahlad Pro, yeah, just keep a mute. Some sound is coming from background. Yeah. His nani told him that keep this note very, very safe, okay? And then when your mothers tell you, then you can buy a chocolate if it is okay. So then that devotee, he went, and then that's what he kept that note inside that Bhagavad Gita, because that is a very safe book, because nobody reads it. That's what the reason he gives. So that's what the point is. It's a good or bad what he did. What he said, is a good or bad thing? Yeah.
Bad thing, Prabhu.
Why bad? He kept nicely, na? Safe. The note is kept safe. Why
Yeah,
bad?
Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu. Yeah, Prabhu, because nobody is reading that Bhagavad Gita. That's why. That is a bad thing.
Yeah. So the point of this video, this is a lesson. You are able to understand this written in Hindi. पढ़ेंगे नहीं तो पढ़े ही रहेंगे इस संसार में. So we have the books with us. I'm sure every one of us, we have the copy of Bhagavad Gita, and many of you will have a Srimad Bhagavatam book also, whole Srimad Bhagavatam set in the home. So these things are not to be brought only and kept in the home. Yeah. What?
I have 18 volumes of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is Srimad Bhagavatam. 18 volumes are Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, not Bhagavad Gita. So these books are not only just to keep in the home. Okay, it's good that we have the books in the home, but they should be opened and read very regularly. Otherwise, then what happen? This is written here. पढ़ेंगे नहीं तो पढ़े ही रहेंगे. And इस संसार में we will remain caught up in this material world all the time to come. And that's what the next it is written here. Na? यह साल तो चला गया. The 2021 went away. Now 2022 started. So now if you don't start, then when we'll do it? Ab nahi to kab. So this is the title of this video. All of you understood the video?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. Very nice, short and very very important message is given to all of us to understand and learn. So that's why it's very much important to have a regular study of Srila Prabhupada books. So it's a good that by God's grace, by mercy of devotees and Prabhupada, we have got the nice opportunity. Yeah, Divesh is writing, his father reads every day, mother also reads and hears. Yeah, so that's very nice. So we should also take opportunity. Otherwise, then we remain unfortunate. We got the things, but we are not utilizing that gift with us. So that should not happen with this. Yeah. No problem. Let's prove fine. That's no issues. So let us begin with the prayers. Om Adnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manam Krishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swakadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Devam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamitam Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Shitarini Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhishya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. So let us give a chance to all of you also to read. So I'll read first paragraph and then all of you also can take turn one by one. Are you all able to see the book? Is it visible? Chapter 3, Learning to Love.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, reading from the book Krishna Consciousness, the Matchless Gift, by His Divine Grace, C.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Chapter 3, Learning to Love. Contamination from sinful activity requires proportionate atonement. Okay, so what is meaning by contamination? You understand the meaning of the word contamination? Anyone? Sorry?
Free.
No.
Free
Not
from sinful.
Contamination means becoming a dirty. Like let's say some kind of garbage came upon my clothes. So my clothes became contaminated because the garbage fell or some bird passed some tutty, right? Bird droppings comes and falls, some kind of a garbage came. So that becomes contaminated. So that's called as contaminant. So because our heart is filled with the sinful activities, unwanted desires, bad thoughts, so it is contaminated. Anything bad is there, that becomes contaminated. Anything good is there, that becomes pure. Okay, so opposite of pure is contamination. Got the point? Understood? So contamination from sinful activity requires proportionate atonement. And now proportionate atonement means some kind of proportionate procedure to follow so that dirty things can be cleansed. Like let's say I just got little bit dirt on the cloth. So I can just put little water or with the hand only I can do, it's got clean. But imagine if some ink spot comes on this. How many of you got ink spot on your uniform or on your shirts? Huh? It becomes very difficult, right? Mother will say, "Arey, it's so tough now." Then you have to go give for a laundry. Then dry cleaning is need to be done. Put some, and then those dry cleaning people, they don't just put the soap. You know how they remove the ink spot? Ink spot doesn't go so quickly.
No problem.
Yeah, they put some kerosene, some kind of a petroleum substance. Then with that they scrub, then they soak in the liquids, then it goes out. So point is how much dirt is proportionate, that much procedure is needed. So that like that it is said. Like government also gives punishment. If somebody did thievery of 10 rupees, okay, some little punishment is given. Somebody did a big thievery, he robbed the bank only. then he's given a big punishment. Somebody did even a bigger crime, then even lifetime imprisonment, or stayed hanging on a for a life only. He is sentenced to hang. He's being death only is given a punishment for him. So different levels based on what kind of level of crime the person has done. So like that, how much our heart is filled with a sinful activity, that much proportionate atonement is needed. That is being written. Okay. So that is the prescription of the scriptures. Shukdev Goswami says that if one accepts atonement before death, in his next life he will not fall down. Who is a Shukdev Goswami? Here it is written, Shukadev Goswami says. Who is this personality? Shukadev Goswami. I'm sure some of you know, or nobody knows. Who is this Shukadev Goswami? Shukadev Goswami says.
He was the one who told Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj.
Very nice. He is a speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So Shuka means the parrot. Okay. So he is actually the parrot in the spiritual world. He's a very dear parrot of Srimati Radharani.
Srimati Radharani is parrot Prabhu.
Yeah. So he's a very great personality. So he is the one who spoke Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So Shukdev Goswami says that if one accepts atonement before death, means one who accepts the punishment and reforms himself before leaving the body, then in the next life he need not to fall down. He need not to trouble himself more later. So stitch in time saves 9. You heard that saying? If you take a treatment, like let's say I got a disease now. So immediately if I apply ointment, take a medication, the disease will get cured. But if I don't do immediately, then it goes on spreading. It spreads everywhere. And then it starts eating up the whole body only. So like that it is being, okay. If he does not atone, then he will carry with him the resultant reactions of his sinful activities and will have to suffer. So according to law, if a man kills someone, he must himself be killed. The idea of a life for a life is not a very new concept, but can be found in Manu Samhita, the Vedic law book for mankind, where it is stated that when a king hangs a murderer, the murderer is actually benefited. For if he is not killed, he will carry the reactions of his murder and will have to suffer in so many ways in the future life. So Manu Samhita is a book, is a law book. Okay, that's a law book for a humanity. That's why we are called as Manushya, right? Manushya word comes from this Manu. And who is a Manu? Anyone knows? Who is the Manu? Who is a Manu?
First person on the.
Yeah, first person. Okay. Any more connection about him? Yeah, Shubham Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu, he is the son of Brahma.
Yes, he's the son of Brahma. That's why he's the first man, first human. So that's why then he gave the law book, how the human should live. That's why Brahma appointed him, guided him, and that's what the Manu Samhita. The Manu, he compiled the book. That's called as Manu Samhita, the law book, how the human should live on the planet. That's why we are called as followers of Manu. So we are known as Manushya. Okay. Yeah. So that's why it is being said. So when somebody murdered somebody, then the government or a king gives a punishment for hanging him. Right? So that is actually good for that person. So that next life he need not to suffer. Otherwise, later it becomes more, his life becomes more risky. Now he may escape, but he cannot escape from the laws of God. Then he has to suffer more. That's the point. Okay. Yeah. Anyone else would like to read now? Start the next paragraph. Yeah, quickly. Yeah, start. Yes. Anyone? Yeah, yes, Paul.
Can I?
Yeah.
The laws of nature.
Can I, Prabhu?
Laws of nature.
Well, one by one. Yeah. First, Divyesh Prabhu can read. Then we'll give chance to Prahlad Prabhu, our younger students, and then Shubham Prabhu can take.
Yeah. The laws of nature are very subtle and are very diligently administered. although people do not know it. In the Manu Samhita, the concept of a life for a life is sanctioned and it is actually observed throughout the world. Similarly, there are other laws which state that one cannot even kill an ant without being responsible. Since we cannot create, we have no right to kill any living entity, and therefore man-made laws that distinguish between killing a man and killing an animal are imperfect. Although there are imperfections in man-made laws, they cannot be defects in the laws of God.
Yeah, just a minute. Just a minute, bro. Because there are many concepts. We'll just say one point here, okay? So while reading, we should not forget what is being said to understand. Try to understand, okay? So what is the point mentioned here? This line is very important. Since we cannot create, we have no right to kill any living entity, right? So therefore, man-made laws that distinguish between killing a man and killing an animal are imperfect. Very important point here, right? So, so government gives punishment if man is murdered, right? Like let's say somebody murdered some another person, so the punishment is given for him. But is there any punishment if somebody kills the cow, somebody kills the goat or animal? Is there any punishment you see by government?
Sometimes if people do means like wild animal poaching, then people are jailed for that for only for some 6-7 months. Probably people are jailed for that.
No, but nowadays we see there are so many slaughterhouses.
Goats all, but for goats, every day he kills and he sells on the roads, highways, etc.
But government comes and catches him.
Prabhuji,
Just a minute.
Prabhuji, for goat.
Just a minute. Yeah, Shubham Prabhu, does government comes and catches him?
Government sees also and takes also that. While also, but not.
But none is not caught. Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Prahlad Prabhu, what you're saying, the goat?
But Prabhuji, some goats are offered to the gods, Prabhuji.
But that is not allowed. For Kali Yuga, it is not sanctioned. In other yugas, the kind of a procedure is given, but now it is not allowed. That's the point. But anyways, whether you offer it to so-called God or whether you you sell for the selling the meat and all these products, there is no action taken. But here you see how brilliantly Prabhupada is writing. Do we have created them? Do the humans have created the animals? No, right? So then we don't have a right also to kill them. If we have not created them, then we don't have a right to kill them also. Right? And therefore, when the man-made laws are there, which are different from the God-made laws, God told no humanity should be, no living entity should be killed. And there are certain procedures or rules and setups are given. But then if we neglect those God's law, and then we try to put our own laws. Okay, if human is killed, then the punishment. If animals is killed, there is no punishment. So then such laws are of no good. So recently I was hearing one episode, how previous time kings were so perfectly following. The government was ruled by the kings, the Rajarshis, the saintly kings, who keep a god in the center. So how powerfully they were ruling the kingdom, keeping a god in the center. So once what happened, king was going on a road, and then suddenly he sees one cow is being lying on a road. And he goes nearby and sees that cow was being kind of injured. And then when the king asks, then they say that somebody made his chariot to go on the body of a cow. That's why cow got injured. Cow fell off, and from the body of a cow, the chariot went by. So when the king heard this, he became very angry. Then he inquired, find out whose chariot it was, who made this act. And you know who was that person who made that act? They found that person.
He himself.
No, not king himself.
King chariot.
No, not king chariot. The king is there only, na? King is there only. So they found out that person. Then the punishment was given to that person. That person who was driving the chariot, he was made to stand on the road, and from his body the chariot was passed by. Can you imagine how punished? And who was that person? The punishment was given his king's son only. The king's son only, who was driving the chariot, he did not respected the cow properly. So then he was given a punishment. As much as the cow was being suffered, you should also understand how painful it is. So you see how the kings ruled. Another famous episode you heard about the King Shibi, right? Who was ready to lay down his life. For whom? For whom he was ready to lay down his life?
One sparrow.
Yeah, one bird, pigeon, pigeon, or that eagle and pigeon issue was happening and all that story. So you see, for the, I mean, how they treated not only for humans but praja. So Prabhupada writes this word praja doesn't mean the king should take care of only humans. Praja includes all living entities, humans, animals, birds, beasts, trees, plants, everyone. So king should guide everyone. So that is actually a rule. So you see how brilliantly Prabhupada is writing here. So these are man-made laws are imperfect. There are so many defects. And now because we are not taking care of this issue about killing of animals and things and all, so that's why now we are in such pandemic situations. This now modern things are being happening. The main reason is what? Because we have forgotten to acknowledge the laws of God. We're going on with whatever we like to do, then we get into trouble later. So that's been mentioned. So yeah. Yeah, so where we're stopped, yeah, you can continue now according to the laws of God. Divesh Prabhu? Or maybe I think we'll give a chance to next devotee because time is getting over.
Yeah, okay, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, Shubham Prabhu, I think that Prahlad Prabhu left. Shubham Prabhu can complete the paragraph. According to the laws of God.
According to the laws of God, killing an animal is as punishable as killing a man. Those who draws distinction between the two are concocting their own laws. Even in the Ten
Concocting means
Commandments.
you try to understand the words, okay? Any if you don't understand the words, you can always ask. Okay, concocting means what? Concocting. Those who draw distinctions between the two means man-made laws. I mean the humans and the animals. Like these two distinctions they make. You can kill the animals, but killing a man means punishment. So they're making these two distinctions. They're concocting means they're thinking themselves. Okay, this is concocting means what their mind feels, their own ideas. That is the meaning. Okay, yeah. And you can note down also in your notebook new words when you come across while reading, so that your vocabulary gets added more with the words. Yeah, read next. Even
in the Ten Commandments, it is prescribed.
who has given these
not kill.
10 commandments? Which are these 10? In which context you hear these 10 commandments? 10 commandments are given by Jesus Christ. Okay, Jesus he told for the followers, follow these 10 commandments, 10 rules. Yeah, so one of the rule is, yeah, read that what is written in the quote.
Thou
Quote
shalt
in-
not kill.
Thou shall not kill. Okay, yeah, means what? Nobody should kill any other living entity. That's the meaning. So Jesus Christ also told we should not kill the living entities. See, yeah, read next. So there are 10 commandments.
Perfect law.
Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not loot others' property, thou shalt not cockroach the things like that. There are 10 commandments are there. Yeah. Yeah. This is the
This perfect law.
Yeah.
But by discriminating and speculating, men distort it. I shall not kill man, but I shall kill animals. In this way, people cheat themselves and inflict suffering on themselves and others. In any case, however, God's law will not excuse such behavior.
Right. So see how amazingly Prabhupada is writing. So anyway, how this lesson builds up, we'll read again further. But the whole point here, it is being said about the taking atonement. That's how Prabhupada began with. And then if you have done follow the laws of Manu Samhita, the laws of nature are very subtle and very diligently admitted, right? Nobody can escape. Somebody can escape the government laws, but people cannot escape the laws of the nature. And that's what one should atone for one's sinful reactions. And that's why there is a chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra is prescribed, because we don't know what all things we might have done in the past, knowingly, unknowingly, so many wrong things. But if we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it burns the seed of all sinful tendencies also. Sinful sins are cleared, and at the same time, the tendency to do sinful activity, that is also been burnt. So all pure. There is nothing impure anymore. So we can pray to the Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So do this practice every day, then surely we are also being taken care. So I hope you understood the today's discussion. The important point was about following the laws of God, not by man-made laws, concocting our own
Yes.
ideas. Okay. So, and then you remember that video in the beginning we showed all of you. So very important about reading Prabhupada books regularly. Yeah. So those who missed,
Up
they can
the,
watch. They can watch the recording again. There's a nice video we showed. Thank you all very much for joining and giving your association. Let us end with Vaishnav.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Vancha kalpatarubhasya
Hare
kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta koti Vaishnava vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
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 Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare